Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sal speaking. Today I'm here talking to you about something cool. I didn't turn this light on so you can see me in a better way. So today I went to school and I had solfege. I think it's called this way, solfege lesson, and also we have a listening lesson where we basically talked about the history of jazz and we listened to some jazz music. That was very interesting, that was great. And so I've learned something new today, and also I'm glad that my level of solfege is not that bad after all, because that was a basic class, so I totally fit in that class, although there are still things I need to learn, things I need to work on, of course, and yeah, I'm really happy. Hello, Will Carroll, welcome you again. So it is great to learn things, from people who know more than me, from people who are professionals, And so I go to school in an amazing place called the Jazz Brass Group. It's an amazing school. If you have the chance, you should look it up. I'll put a link later so that you can have a look at the school. Inside the school used to be a hospital actually, and back in the days, of course, I don't know much about the history of this place, but I know that it used to be a hospital, and now it is a school. It is a very old building. It is beautiful. It is in the middle of Palermo and in the very center, in the very core of the city. And inside this beautiful building, apart from that, the classes are very old. Everything is old. But every class has a piano. Every class has an instrument. They've got a set of drums. Actually, three set of drums, because they have two upstairs. And then they have a blue jazz club, they call it this way. It's a place where you can go there and they do like concerts and stuff. And also there is another church. It's called the Spasimo Church. It's just a beautiful church. It's never been used as a church. It's never been finished. The church has never been finished, like the building of the church has never been completed before, but it is still an amazing place, and there's a special atmosphere there. So whenever I finish my lesson, I just walk to this church, which is inside the place where I study. It's called the Spasimo Church. If you go out to Google and you Google it, you can see the images of this beautiful church. It's called Spasimo, Spasimo. So you can easily go there and have a look. You'll be amazed about this church. Also, there is a special feeling when I go there and I stand in the midst of this church, because in this church the school makes and there are so many guests that come from different parts of the world. I'm talking about important people, important singers and musicians of the jazz environment. They go there and they perform there. It's just amazing. It's just like in the open. So we are outside in the open. There are all the chairs there, and in the summertime they make this live concerts there, and it's just amazing. But I go there every day I don't go to school every day, but I go there 3 times a week, and I go there and I just like, when I finish my lessons, I go there and I just breathe and I feel peaceful. I feel good. I think about the things I want to achieve. I think about the things I've learned, and I feel happy whenever I go to school. And it's just a beautiful experience. I just breathe and I focus on the things, and I ponder about the things I need to do, and I ponder about my life. I ponder about my existence, and it feels great. It's like a place of prayer as well, because I go there and I just, because it's not a church, like, meaning it's not like a finished church. It's just like a church, but it's never been used as a church before. But I don't care about the place, if it was a church or wasn't a church. The only thing that matters to me is the place. and the place makes me feel good, and so I just like bow my head, and I offered a silent prayer, and really, like, I felt connected to God, and I felt good, I felt loved, I felt well looked after, and this really helped me out. So from this experience, I was very moved today after having this great experience, where it was a pondering experience, an experience that is unique beyond any measure. And I thought about my own life, my own things, and it was great. It was just a great moment of meditation. And so I was very moved. I was almost emotional when I left the school. I felt great. I felt there is still a lot of things to do, a lot of things to improve, and I am willing to do it. I am willing to make the difference, and so yes, it really made me feel great. It made me feel special. Also, the teachers are super professionals. They're super great, and I just like to learn from my teachers, and I think that's my path. I think there's a lot of things to do, and hopefully these things will take me to other places, probably around the world, where like people will recognize my music, people will recognize what I do, and that will make a difference, a very strong difference. I've been thinking a lot, and I've been thinking about also to start writing a journal about this experience, about my jazz experience. So I thought to start writing this journal and to either offer it to my patrons. That would be a good idea. So to every patron, I will publish a page of this journal every month, and they can freely read my experience, and they can have a special experience. They can understand how I feel when I do music. They can understand some insights about my personal life, which I don't share maybe with you. I mean, although I share some things, but I would like to write this journal more like a novel in a way. So to those who are on my Patreon, I will write this journal, and you will be able to read my journal once a month. And so I invite all of you guys, and those who are not part of my Patreon, those who are not supporting me on Patreon, to please support me. If you do support me, you will have the chance to read this amazing journal, because I will write some really personal things, personal impressions, and that will be very important, especially if you like music, if you're interested in me, basically, and you can learn more about me. I think this is a great idea. I think this is something that it matters. It matters because it is important for my life, and so it is important. It can be important also to the people that will come after me, to the people that will think about their own lives and will think about music. And this novel, I'll talk about different things. I call it novel, but it's more of a journal. I'll talk about my challenges with music. I will talk about love as well. I will talk about love because I think it's an important topic, and it really does make a difference in my life. I will talk about also my belief in God, because I believe in God, and so I will share also how God and love and music can be connected, all of them together, and how we can really make a difference as a musician when we do the right things in life, when we connect all of these things together. And so when we do that, we can indeed make a big, huge difference. So this is the idea, and I think it is a very original idea, and it is a great idea for you patrons. It is something great that you can get in return. Probably if this project goes on, and if some of you will, and if some of you would kindly support me, this could be could become a book. So eventually, this book could be free for the patrons who are, supporting me. But I mean, yeah, if you're not supporting me, of course, I can't keep on writing. I can't keep on finding the time to do this. But I think, and I thought it was a great idea for me to do this project, and I think this project will be a nice project, and we'll have some insights. Also, there will be some notions of music where you can learn, where I will share some knowledge of music with you, and you'll be able to learn things from me. So I think that this is a very spiritual idea in a way, and it can make a big, huge difference. Hello, Alexandru. So I was talking about my new project, about writing a journal basically, and to those who belong to those who are my patrons, basically, they have the chance to listen. I'm not saying listen. Sorry, they have the chance to read my journal about my jazz experience, my personal jazz experience, and this will comprehend also not only music but also love and other personal insights about my life and my spiritual beliefs, and my connection to God, music, and love, which I think are some important things in life. We cannot deny that believing in something can make a big, huge difference in our lives. Hello, Zach, back. Hello, everybody. Because I've noticed how, and I was saying this about when I made the video about love. Love doesn't belong to us, as also music doesn't belong to us. Music is just something that is in the air. Music was produced when God himself, and I believe in God, but it could be anything you believe. I don't want to, I'm not saying that I am right and you are wrong or anything like that, but I believe there is a supreme being, and I call him God. And I believe that the very same fact that God has created the world, and therefore the very same fact that the very same movement of matter must have produced, for sure, some sort of sound. And this some sort of sound can be called music in a way. I believe that the perfection with which the world is made has a certain relation with music. And this is undeniable. The perfection of the universe, the very fact that the sun is so far away from the earth and it's got a specific distance between, there is a specific distance between the sun and the earth. And if the sun would have been a little bit closer, we would have been dead by now. But all of this is perfection. Even our human bodies function in a perfect way. If even a small part of our body will stop working, the whole body will be affected by it, and we will be probably long gone by now. So even our hearts must be tuned in a specific note. Some of you have the heart in C major. Some of you have hearts that beat at a tonality of, I don't know, maybe E major, maybe E minor, I don't know. And the cool thing is when it comes to music, and when it comes to making a chord, a very simple chord, for example, C major and E major, they make a chord, together. And think about this, and let us translate this very same principle into not only music, because in music it will be I mean, it's late, but I shouldn't. But listen to this. This is a C major and an E major together. So they produce this very same sound. So now let us transpose, if I may use this very same term to apply this specific theory into something else. So as I said before, let's pretend, and I believe this is the case, our hearts are tuned in a specific note. Maybe C major, maybe B major, maybe E major. And we have seen, and I showed you just right now, that C major and E major together, they make a chord. And so they make a melody. And this melody sounds really nice to the ear. And it is amazing. So if our hearts are beating at a specific, note, if my heart meets another person's heart, and we get together, we might build an eternal melody, which is founded on love, understanding, and respect, but also may have a musical meaning to it. And this is like somewhat romantic, and I am Italian, and maybe the very same fact that I am Italian really kind of makes me feel this way, but I see music in this way. I see music as a movement, as a great movement of, the planets move, the sun moves around, and I mean the earth spins around the sun, the solar system, all these things, the stars, and there must be a kind of music, floating in the air of the universe, floating in the air of eternities and everlasting planets and worlds. A music that we don't understand, we don't comprehend, but a music that is real. And life is a music. Life can be compared to a song, It is sad sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's just, depressing maybe, sometimes it's just, makes you feel so excited about things. Sometimes even the very same events that follow our lives are accompanied by music. For example, when you fall in love with somebody, and there are many times I've heard of people who love each other, and they're like, oh, and I'm talking about like a couple of people loving each other, and they're like, yeah, well, this is our song. This is our song. They just pick up a song, a love song. Many times it is a love song, and then they say, this is our song, So more or less, there's always music involved in our lives. Many times we don't even realize it. For example, even when we walk around the streets, and maybe you don't live in very busy places, but like in Italy, everybody like drives crazy, and they're honking all the time. And even the same sound the cars make, the honking of, the cars make a specific sound. And all of these sounds to a musician, to a very well-trained musician, are not just fantasy. They are reality. They are like something as tangible as eating pasta, You listen to something, you know what you're listening to, and it just makes sense. Even when two people talk, the way we talk, and this happens a lot with Italian, maybe French language as well, but even all the languages of the world, they have a sound, they have accents, and this is also musical. Music is all around us. We don't realize it. We don't accept the fact that music is around us. For me, being a musician is just an amazing thing. People say I am gifted, and I probably am. I am grateful to God for giving me these talents and abilities to feel music. But sometimes it feels like it is I don't know, like I feel like I am stalked by music. I feel music is inside of me, and music is chasing after me. Whenever something happens, bad or good, happy or sad, I'm always accompanied by music. And I always have music running in my head. Always. There's not one moment that I am left without music. And in the hardest times of my life, during my hardships and trials and hard times, I found that music has always been with me. That music has been a friend. And the very same instrument I play, which is the piano, also the guitar and other instruments as well, but mainly the piano, is my best friend. Doesn't betray me. If I touch a specific note, if I touch a specific key, the key will make a sound. And if I miss the key and I push on another key, the other key will produce another sound, and that's my fault. It is up to us to put together the right notes, the right chords together to produce a good sound. And so basically this also may represent the actions and choices we make in our lives. Actions and choices may really make a big difference in our lives, and being less selfish, so being unselfish, can be a good thing to get rid of our own selfishness and focus more on the things that matter in life, which is respect, love for yourselves. So please, if you're not loving yourselves, just try to find a way and think about ways that you can start actually loving yourselves, because this is very important. And then, please start to do something to love others. Alexander is saying, deep thinking for tonight. I like it. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. Yeah, this is a deep thinking, but this is also the way I am. And sometimes we don't talk the way we are. Sometimes we're not very honest with ourselves. Maybe sometimes we're not honest with our neighbors. Sometimes we're just fake. Sometimes we're just faking ourselves just because we need to impress somebody else. But the real self, at some point, the real good self or the real bad self at some point of our lives will come out, and we must deal with it. We cannot escape it. We cannot avoid it. We just need to face it once and for all. And so I am grateful. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the things I have in life. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for the great chance I have to be a musician in this world, in this time. And I couldn't ask for more. Yes, there are things I would like to have in life. There are things I'm struggling with. But you know what? I'm here and I'm not giving up. Not even for a moment. Because, music makes me express myself. It's one of the best reasons that keeps me going, that keeps me alive. And I think God gave to all of us talents and abilities and skills that, sometimes we don't know about it, but try to discover your skills, And everything starts from a desire. If you have a specific desire to do something, you will learn it. And as you do, you'll learn. The more you do, the more you learn. Somebody from my church, one of the big leaders of my church, said something like this. I'm not sure if I will quote it right, but I'll try to say it. He said what we persist in doing becomes easier for us to do. Not that the nature itself has changed, but our power to do it has increased. So persistence is a great, great, great tool. Persistence, makes things easier for us. And as things get easier, we become better at doing things. And not the nature of the thing hasn't changed. But the only thing that has changed, if you think about it, is the very same power. We have more power to do things. I've been thinking about also this same fact that we have power. We do have power to do things. We do have power to change. This will, of course, won't be easy. It takes efforts, it takes sacrifice, it takes believing in ourselves. But it takes a good desire, it takes a good heart. There's nothing better than a good heart turning and changing for good. If you believe that it's impossible to change, then you're not going to be doing anything for your lives. But if you believe that you can change, you can actually improve, and you can let the best of yourselves out, then do it. Because this is what the world needs. The world doesn't need selfish people. The world doesn't need just only riches. The world needs people who are willing to change and become better people, and people who are willing to help. No matter how bad your life is right now, just think about people who are around you. Look at them from another perspective. Help the old ladies across the streets. Help a young mother lifting the I don't know, you call it the cart, the baby cart, is that you call it? Be of help. Help in your houses. Help your parents, your families, because now you have it, but one day they'll be gone and you won't be around them anymore. They won't be around you anymore. And then what? Try to learn from your parents, learn from your brothers and sisters, learn from your friends. The more you learn, the more you earn. So learning is just a basic but still important thing to do. Try to find a motivation. Try to find the right motivation to do things. Some people don't feel motivated for changing, but there's something that can really lit the fire that is inside you. You are candles, and you have the opportunities to light it on. But what can you do to do that? If you're willing to turn the light on, it's up to you and it's up to me. There's nothing that can change that. If you're willing, if you have the desire, if you're willing to sacrifice, then things will happen. And you will feel satisfied with your life, you will feel happy. I chose a very strong but yet hard path to follow, which is the path of music, path of also entertainment, cinema, whatever it will be, but this is what I want to work in. I worked in the cinema before. I worked as a production assistant. It was a great experience. I've learned so many things from this experience, and I really like that environment, and it makes me feel alive. Everything that is involved, everything I do that has something to do with art makes me feel very good and makes me feel fulfilled. I feel a great sense of fulfillment. But then again, if you're only thinking about our pains and sorrows and problems, and if we're not helping somebody else, our burdens, won't be made light. Our burdens will be heavier as we just focus on it. You gotta carry a heavy burden. You don't know for how long. You don't know how. You don't know how steep the path and how broken the roads will be, but you must carry that burden with you. But believe it or not, sharing the burden with your brothers, with your neighbors, and helping them out, carry more stuff, who will help you out to overcome your own problems. But if we stay focused on ourselves, then I'm sure that things won't be changing so much. Believe in yourselves, believe that you can do all things. Believe in the power of music. Believe in the power of a supreme being. Believe in your own intelligence. But don't think that you're smarter than others. Don't you think, not even for a moment, that you are wiser than your neighbors, because you're not. Don't you think for a moment that you are more educated than somebody, because you're not. There's always something you can learn from a doctor, but also something you can learn from a farmer, from a farmer boy who knows how to take care of a farm. And probably people who have degrees, they have no idea of how it works. You can study, you can belong to a religion, to a specific religion, but this doesn't make you better than a guy who doesn't believe in God, a guy who doesn't do anything that you do. Maybe that same guy who doesn't believe in God doesn't go to church every Sunday. And maybe you do, maybe I do. But, let us not forget that he's our brother and we can learn from him. And we must respect our neighbors. And this will make a huge difference in our lives, but also into our neighbors' lives. This shirt says that I keep on forgetting, but yeah, sometimes I keep on forgetting, but that's how it goes, But I won't forget the right people. I won't forget the good things of life. And these very same things inspire me in so many ways. And that really makes a big, huge difference. Just believe in yourselves, keep on doing what you do, and good things will come your way. So please guys, support me on Patreon. That's really important, because one of my other videos got demonetized today again, and it cannot go this way. I think it was the one where I talked about, it was about the one about the paranormal activity on my place, which was a real thing actually, by the way. And I don't know for what reason they stopped it. They demonetized my video, and I'm starting to get a little bit angry about this, because I don't want to talk about Patreon and demonetization all the time, but you must also try to put a little bit in my shoes. This work is becoming harder and harder, and it is a shame that you work hard for something and then you don't get paid for it. And I'm not talking about cents, don't make me wrong, we're not talking about big money, I don't make big money. My channel is fairly small, but the people who are supporting me are great. I'm so grateful for the subscribers, and I welcome the new subscribers. That even today I got new subscribers, and this is makes me feel so proud, makes me feel really happy, and it really makes my day better. And I feel happy about this. I feel happy how the channel is growing, and how this can make and will make an impact in our friends' lives. So my project is to write a journal and to publish it on Patreon. So my patrons will have the chance to read this journal. I will probably turn this very same journal into a book. So before you will actually have the chance of reading the book, you'll start reading parts of the book, because that's how the book will be. Maybe there will be some little changes, but more or less we're talking about this. But in the future, you'll have the chance to get the whole book. To those who will be with me, those faithful patrons, they will have the full book eventually, and the rest of the community probably can buy it, separately. But those who will support me on Patreon will have the chance to have this book. This book will contain personal insights about my life, about my jazz experience at the brass group school here in Palermo, and also there will be some insights about my personal life, about my love experience, because as I said before, music and love are connected, and so it's undeniable. Music, love, and all these things are connected, very well connected. So I think this is a great idea. You'll have the chance to read from my journal, from my personal journal, and you will have a chance to also, because I'll talk about music, love, and I'll give you some insights about the things I learn. So if you're not a musician, or if you're a musician, you will really benefit a lot from this book, a lot from this journal. And also, so music, love, and spiritual experiences, because there's a lot of spirituality involved in the things I do. As I said before, after I finish my lessons, I always go to this Spasimo church, which is not a church. It was meant to be built as a church, but it's never been finished before. So the old structure has never been ended before. And even though it hasn't been ended before, it still stands there, and there's a great atmosphere there. I go there, I breathe deeply, and I offer a silent prayer, and I feel that the world is not as bad as we think it is, and I feel that there is still hope, and I compliment myself for the sacrifice and the good things I'm achieving with my studies, with my life, and even for the things I don't have, maybe for the love I don't have in my life, but I'm grateful, and I keep on going, because I want to be the best of my school. And I don't want to be just a student, I want to be the student. I want to make the world talking about me. I want to make the world crazy about my music. And I'm not saying this about money. Give me a piano and I will change your life. Give me music and I will change my life too. I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to sound prideful. I sound sincere because this is what I believe. I believe my potential, and I know there is a long way to that, but I know and I promise that to myself, I pledge to this, which is till I'll be still alive, until there is still hope, until I will keep on breathing, there will be still hope, and I'll never stop to do what I do, because I believe in the power of music. A power that heals the broken-hearted and broken souls. The power of music that motivates you to do things you've never thought to do. For example, once I ran for 3 hours without stopping, and that was because my mind was trained to training, to hard jobs, but also it was trained because music was my natural drug that was giving me a lot of strength, a lot of power to actually perform things I never thought I would have been able to perform in my whole life. Now I'm going to bed, and in the next few days I will publish on Patreon my first day of journal with the jazz experience. So love, music, and spiritual insights about my life, about my experience, about the things I'm learning, and about the great deep sense and meaning of life. This is a very enjoyable streaming for me. I feel like I speak with my open heart, and I know that this open heart will reach many of you. And this is all. I don't care about Patreon's money, I don't care about YouTube's money. As long as you let me do what I do, I'll be happy. Trust me. as long as I will have a piece of bread and water to stay alive, I'll be happy as a musician. I'll be feeling fulfilled. Who cares about being famous if you're not like doing things with your heart? People think a lot about marketing and about strategies on how to promote your music, yourself, your channel, and thing, which is a great thing. Don't make me wrong. We have great tools today. We have social medias, we have YouTube, we have so many great tools. But it's not only that. The question is who you want to be. Who do you want to be? What kind of man, what kind of women are you gonna be? You're gonna be somebody who's just complaining about life, complaining about the hardships and trials of life we get? Or are you somebody who's trying and striving to find solution to the problems of life? Are you gonna stand still while life is throwing punches at you? So are you gonna stand still as life is throwing punches at you? Or are you gonna react? Or are you gonna throw punches at life? Because at the end, life will win against us. But we can still throw punches at life in a good way, from a good positive perspective. And we can be ourselves. Let us not give the opportunity to technology to blind our aspirations, to blind our desires, to prevent us from reading and from getting educated, to prevent us from thinking with our own minds, to prevent us from being ourselves, our true selves. I hope, and some of you, and I think Alexandro said that Zach Bach is leaving, and Alexandro is saying, you open some doors in my mind. And this is the main purpose as a musician. If you don't touch the people's hearts, you can't really think you're successful as a person and as a musician. And to be honest with you, I don't care how much money you make, but are you happy? That's the question. Are you happy with your lives? Maybe you're not. And we're all pursuing happiness. We're all chasing happiness. We're all running after happiness. And sometimes it feels like we're touching happiness, but then something happens and we fall into the pit of despair and sorrow as we find ourselves alone and hopeless. But it's that very same experience. It is the finding ourselves alone into a pit of despair that will give us the chance, the opportunity to lift ourselves up, to get out from the pit of despair, to keep on believing in ourselves, to keep on fighting for what is good, for what is right. And then when we get good results, even money-wise, if we don't help our neighbors, what are we here for? Are we here just to enjoy ourselves and that's it? That's really sad. Are we here to get money from Patreon or wherever and just having fun? Or what is this all about? I mean, we need money to survive, but because we are in a society, we are part of this society, but there's something more important than money, and that's you. That's your health. So you should take care about your health. I think the Dalai Lama said that Western people lose their health to make money, and then they will lose their money to try to get back their health. So they try to get back their health, but they eventually lose their money and their health too. And that's a reality. If you want to do something good, if you want to say a thank you to one of your family members, to a friend, this is the time to do it, because tomorrow maybe we won't be able to do it. But as we do it now, we won't have any regrets in life. I promise you that. I promise you that you will feel happy. You will feel a great sense of fulfillment for the things you do. This journal, again, I'm going to write. I'm going to be writing this journal, and this is going to be fantastic for the content, for the deepness, and for the things that you will learn. Also to improve your lives, because it's when we read about somebody else's life that we learn about their lives, and then we can, improve ourselves. I am grateful that you're agreeing with me. This really makes me feel good. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being so true, so sincere, all of you, no matter who supports me or not on Patreon, but you are watching this amazing content, I hope. I know there is a lot to be improved, there is a lot to do, and if I have lacked in some things, please forgive me. I'm trying to do my very best to give you the best experience I can. So if I've made mistakes, forgive my mistakes, and I promise you that I'll try to offer you a great experience here watching my channel. Thank you for giving me this chance, for listening to me, because this really has taught me lots of things, even to myself. I'm not the type of guy who stands in a pulpit preaching you what to do or not what to do. The only thing I can tell you is to just follow your heart, believe in yourselves, love yourselves and love your neighbors, and try to make a difference. Try to be the difference in this world, because there are some people out there who desperately need you. They need a helping hand. They need somebody who believes in them. They need a little support. They need a little help. It can be a material help, or sometimes it can be a moral help. But they need it. We need it. So if you start doing, people may start, doing it too. And it will be a good chain of loving people that will make a huge, big difference in their lives, but also in the lives of those that they will come across with. I would love to talk to you forever. I feel very inspired right now. I feel very good. I feel you're listening to me, and I couldn't ask for better people to follow me, to support me, as you guys are doing. Thank you all. May God bless you all. And just stay safe wherever you are. Make wise choices. Don't rush into things, but don't wait too much. Do not procrastinate, and great things will happen in your life. Love you all. Thank you so much. And remember, if you feel sad, I'm sorry for you. I'm just kidding you. If you feel sad, you better call Sal. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Alexander. May God bless you too. Stay safe and sound. Thank you so much. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your kind words. I need them, and you're really making a great, strong, huge difference in the things I do. Think about my project, think about the things I already shared with you, and please try to make a little effort to support me on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.